Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I'm super excited you're here because we're going to tackle a massive challenge right now, buying a home without totally wrecking your budget. So picture a giant whiteboard right in front of us. Today's lesson, it's all about finding real affordability in the current housing market. No sales pitches, zero confusing jargon, just clear, simple math. We're going to use a specific case study today, let's call it 123 Main Street, and we're going to draw out exactly how you can completely rethink the numbers to make your dream home an actual reality. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, the affordability challenge. Second, looking beyond purchase price. Third, the power of the split. Fourth, comparing the real numbers. Fifth, expanding your buying power. And finally, number 6, the bottom line. Ready? Let's dive right in.
Section 1, the affordability challenge.
So when most of us are house hunting, we open an app and bam, we get hit with a totally frustrating sticker price. I'm putting today's main dilemma right dead center on our board. How do we make an $800,000 home affordable? That's the actual list price for our property today, 123 Main Street. Now, 800 grand is a huge number, and traditional thinking tells us the only way to make it affordable is to go haggle with the seller and try to slash that price. But I want you to completely rethink how you approach that big number.
Section 2, looking beyond purchase price. Here's the honest truth. Unless you're rolling up with all cash, the sticker price is kind of just an illusion. What you're really paying is a monthly bill, right? Let's write out the baseline numbers to see exactly what I mean. Here's our starting point. We've got an $800,000 list price. Let's assume you're putting 20% down. So you're bringing $160,000 to the table, which leaves you with a loan amount of $640,000. Under a completely standard scenario, your estimated monthly payment comes out to about $3,993. And guys, that monthly payment is the actual number that decides if this house fits comfortably into your family's budget.
But watch what happens when we shift our focus from the price tag to the interest rate. Let's say the current market rate is 6.375%. That's what gave us that original payment of almost $4 grand. But what if we can buy down that interest rate by exactly 1 full percentage point, dropping it to 5.375%? Suddenly, our new monthly payment drops to $3,584. You're looking at an estimated monthly savings of $409. Over just 1 year, you're keeping almost $5,000 in your own pocket just by changing the rate.
Section 3, the power of the split.
Okay, so how do we actually get that magically lower interest rate? Well, let's say the seller of 123 Main Street is super motivated, and they're willing to give up $35,000 to make a deal happen. You basically have 2 choices here. Option A is the traditional route. You just ask for a $35,000 simple price cut. Boom, you buy the house for $765,000 instead of $800,000. But option B is what we call the split strategy. You take that exact same $35,000, but use it as a seller-paid payment subsidy. I'm going to show you exactly why option A barely moves the needle for your budget, while option B is literally a game changer. Let's break down exactly how this split works. We take that $35,000 seller concession and we divide it into 2 strategic buckets. First, we use $25,600 to permanently buy down your interest rate by that full 1% we just looked at. The seller is paying this, so the net cost to you is absolutely zero. But check this out. We still have $9,400 left over from their $35,000. So we take that second bucket and apply it directly towards your closing costs. We're splitting the money to attack your monthly payment and your upfront out-of-pocket cash, all at the exact same time.
Section 4, comparing the real numbers.
Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, come on, is this really better than just getting 35 grand knocked off the purchase price? Well, let's look at the side-by-side numbers. On the far left, we have buying the home at $800,000 with zero discount. Your payment sits at about $4,642, which includes your estimated taxes and insurance. In the middle, we have option A, the $35,000 price cut. Your loan amount drops a little, and your payment dips to $4,468. You save about $174 a month. Not terrible, right? But then, look at option B, the split subsidy. The purchase price stays at $800,000, but your interest rate plummets to 5.375%. Your payment drops all the way down to $4,233. Plus, your cash needed to close is the lowest of all 3 scenarios because we use that leftover $9,400 to cover closing costs. The power of the split completely crushes a simple price cut. So here is the absolutely crucial number. $408.95. I'm basically circling this in bright yellow for you. When you use the split strategy, you are saving nearly $409 every single month compared to the original setup. Compare that to the measly $174 you get from a simple price cut. A smart financing strategy beats a price cut every single time because lowering the rate reduces the interest charged on your entire loan balance month after month.
But wait, it gets even better. Let's look at our next big number, $17,526. Because your monthly payment is so much lower now, the actual amount of income you need to make from your job to get approved for this loan drops dramatically. You literally need over $17,000 less in annual income just to qualify for this exact same $800,000 home when you use the split strategy. That's huge. And finally, take a look at this massive number, $81,938. Because the interest rate is lower, your money just stretches so much further. Using this exact strategy effectively increases your buying power by almost $82,000 compared to someone who just accepts the standard market rate. You are getting so much more house for your money.
Section 5. Expanding your buying power.
Okay, those numbers are super fun to draw out, but what does this actually mean when you wake up in your new house? Well, even though you are legally buying an $800,000 house at 123 Main Street, because we brought that interest rate down, your monthly payment feels exactly like you're buying a $718,000, $62 house at today's rates. You are essentially living in an $800,000 home, but you're paying for it on a $718,000 budget. That right there is the definition of true affordability. And just think about what you can do with that extra $409 a month you're keeping. If we ground this math in reality, $409 isn't just a cell on a spreadsheet. That's a full cart of groceries, that's a few tanks of gas, it's help with childcare, knocking out student loans, padding your savings account, or honestly just boosting your overall quality of life. By focusing on the payment instead of the sticker price, you're protecting your everyday lifestyle.
Section 6. The bottom line.
We've definitely covered a lot of ground today. So as we wrap up the math, if you take away just one single sentence from this explainer, make it this one. The lowest priced home does not always create the lowest monthly payment. The way a home is financed, the strategy you actually use to borrow the money is almost always more critical to your family's budget than the sticker price on the listing. Let's do a super quick recap of our 123 Main Street case study. First, look beyond the list price. Don't let it scare you off. Second, always focus your attention on the estimated monthly payment. Third, leverage the power of the split by asking sellers for a payment subsidy instead of a simple price drop. And fourth, remember that a smart financing strategy is going to be a simple one-time price cut pretty much every time when it comes to monthly savings.
So, as we wipe the board clean today, I want to leave you with one final thought for your own house hunt. Are you still just going out there and negotiating the purchase price, or are you finally ready to negotiate your actual monthly payment? Think about it. Run the numbers for yourself and take back control of your affordability. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on today's explainer, and hey, happy house hunting.